Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how I made these crispy potato wedges and french fries. The ingredients I'm going to be using for this are 3 potatoes, some salt, some fresh ground pepper, Cajun spice, onion, garlic, and paprika. I'm also going to be using some olive oil, and I have a pot of water heating up while I wash my potatoes. I'm going to be leaving the skin on 2 of them, so it's really important that I make sure it's all clean. So I am going to be peeling one of the potatoes to make it into french fries for my kids because I know that they don't like the skin. But it's really up to you whether you want to make the wedges or the french fries. So now I'm just going to be slicing my potato, if I can figure out which way I want to slice it, into wedges. I slice it in half again, and then in half another time, until I get the size of wedge that I like. And then for my french fries, I'm just slicing off one side of the potato so I can get it to be stable while I slice it up. And then I'm just going to slice it into french fries. You can make them thicker or thinner, however you prefer them. But I'm just going to cut mine like this. So now that my potatoes are all cut, I'm going to go ahead and put in my wedges first. Since they're bigger, I'm going to let them boil for about 4 to 5 minutes before I add in the french fries. Since they're smaller, they don't need to cook as long. So after about 5 minutes, I'm going to go ahead and add in my french fries and let them boil for another 4 minutes. So if you're only making wedges, then you could just let them boil for about 8 to 10 minutes. And if you're making french fries, then just boil them for about 4 to 5 minutes. Now we're going to strain. And once they're strained, I'm going to put them into another bowl where I'll be adding the seasonings. But first, I like to heat up my air fryer. That way it can already be warm by the time I add in my french fries. Okay, so now for my potatoes, I'm going to drizzle in some olive oil. And then I'm going to add in each of my seasonings. Everything's to taste. You can also add any seasonings you like or leave out anything you don't like. You could even just do salt and pepper and they'll still come out really good. This is all based on your preference. But this is how I like mine. I add in some Cajun spice, which I almost added way too much, but it's a good thing I noticed almost right when I opened it. And now I'm adding my onion powder. I do not really measure, I just eyeball it. I just make sure it's enough to cover all the potatoes. Garlic powder. And lastly, some paprika. I also forgot to mention at the beginning, but I do have all the ingredients down below in the description box. but I am gonna also add in some cornstarch and some baking soda, and this kind of helps give it that crunchy texture without adding flour or anything like that. So once I have all my ingredients in, I'm going to carefully mix it and make sure that the seasoning is on all the potatoes. I like to use a glove because I hate it when food gets under my fingernails. So that is why I am wearing this glove. And I had already made a batch of these. That's why you see that at the bottom of my air fryer. It's from the previous batch of wedges. But now I'm just placing them into my air fryer. I do make them in batches. I don't like to overcrowd the air fryer because then they don't come out as crispy. So I'm just laying them and spacing them out so that they can all cook evenly. And now they're going in at 370 degrees for about 10 minutes. I do like to flip them halfway through. This is completely optional. I don't know if it really makes a difference, but in my head it does. So I like to do that. So now they're ready and they look so good. I'm gonna place them on my plate. You can also place them on a baking rack so that they could stay crispy longer. And I'm going to finish them with a little bit of salt, and then I'm going to continue with the rest of my wedges. And I also forgot to mention that I do try to bake them in like sizes, so that's why I'm doing all of the wedges first, and then once the wedges are all done, then I'm going to continue with the french fries, since they all cook at the same speed, since they're almost the same size, if that makes sense.
What we do here is go back.
So now I'm doing all the french fries, and with the french fries, since they're thinner, I don't flip them halfway through. I just let them cook for 10 minutes. And that is pretty much it for today's recipe, guys. I hope you all try it out and like it. If you do, please tag me, send me pictures. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.